The one thing that is setting you apart from the man who lives to his 110s is your standing inside of the social hierarchy. What if I told you that you can live better, feel better, have better results just with this one method? You see, when you start to reach a certain standing inside of society, in your community, or even inside your friend group, you will start to elevate your health, and this is the reasons that I'm going to explain in this video. You know, we are social creatures, and when we have a good standing inside of the hierarchy, we are a leader, for example, we release way less stress hormones, we produce way more of the good hormones, which is oxytocin and testosterone, because we have more close relationships with other guys of the same gender, and we have more intimate relationships as well, and this produces more testosterone, more oxytocin, and we will lower our cortisol. And during a long span, this will ultimately lead us to have a longer and better life. While on the other hand, if we are being bullied, if we are being threatened, if we don't have this great social standing inside the group that we are in, we're going to ultimately have less relationships, less intimate partners, which is going to kind of drag down our oxytocin. We're going to have less testosterone and more cortisol because of this, and we're going to feel way worse because we simply don't have, our nervous system is simply in this heightened state, and our bodies isn't used to being in this state, you know, and they aren't made to be in this constant state for prolonged periods of time. I think that you can see like this scenario playing out, like the first one, having the leader, having all the intimate relationships, having all the relationships have really great like bonds to a lot of different people, while on the other hand, like the peasant inside of society in medieval times and in today's society as well, you can see like the big difference between the CEO and the like low beta male. You know, it has such a big impact on our health, how this kind of social dynamic is, you know. We get more stress when we have this lower social presence. So what can we actually do about this? Well, the first thing that you need to do, step number one, identity. Because identity plays a super massive role for us. If we have goals that is aligned to our identity, if we are doing things that is good for us while at the same time aligning with our identity, we're going to feel super great. This is why you always should do the thing that is best for you right now. So build your identity around things that is good for you. Be that kind of guy who is on self-improvement. Be on self-improvement, you know. Go to the gym, like these simple things. If you start changing your identity to actually be aligned with being on self-improvement, on going to the gym, having a good diet, being this really charismatic guy that everybody wants to talk to, building businesses, having good connections and all of that, you're simply going to be having a good identity. The number one thing to actually changing your identity so that you can become that thing is to already think that you are this thing. Like, for example, if you go to the gym, imagining yourself that you are a gym bro, you're ultimately going to become a person who goes to the gym way faster. If you consistently go to the gym for 6 days in a row for the first time and you call yourself, oh shit, I'm a gym bro now, and you tell this to everybody, you know, I'm a different person now, I'm a gym bro. You're simply not just saying, oh, I've started to go to the gym, I'm testing it out, feeling if it's good for me, you know, then you're not going to get any results. But if you're actually like telling people that, yeah, I'm a gym bro now, I go to the gym, I go to the gym, you see the difference, it's massive. So if you want to change your habits, you need to change your identity, and the way you change your identity is that you go tell people that you are this thing. I am a gym bro, I am a soccer player, I am a businessman, I am a content creator, all of these different things. And you're going to tell people that you are this, they are going to imagine it inside of their brains, and you're going to get a feedback thing. They're going to say to you, oh, so when are you going to the gym tomorrow? How much money are you making inside your business? And you can reply like things that feed this identity all the time. And this is a super great way to actually stay stuck on your habits. You might be a little bit confused, like, why am I talking about identity? Well, the reason I'm talking about identity is that you need to have this identity switch if you want to become this person that everybody can talk to, become this person who is a leader, has a good, better social standing. So improving your identity and changing your identity is indeed going to be a really great thing in order for you to elevate your social standing. I hope this makes sense to you, because I kind of forgot this, that we were actually talking about, status maxing. But it is true. If you want to elevate your standing inside of the hierarchy, you need to improve your identity and change your identity. So the one thing that can actually improve and change your identity faster is that you solve your insecurities. Your insecurities play a really massive role when you are trying to change things around. People who go to the gym and aren't comfortable inside the gym, they may think like people are looking weird at me, I don't really know how to do this machine, and people are going to judge me, and all of these different things. And these are the kind of things that you need to go past if you want to develop yourself. If you're starting a business, maybe it can be, oh, I don't know what business to start. I don't know what people are going to think about me when I do the sale calls. I don't know what people are going to think about me when I start eating good again, and when I start like stop hanging out with these bad friends of mine, and what my friends is going to think about me not hanging with these friends. You know, this is super important. If you want to change your identity, you need to solve your insecurities. Other people have distaste for them and feel that they are disturbing on both ends. People, if you think like all the time that, oh, I don't know, like if people are going to stare at me when I'm inside a gym, you're going to kind of give that aura, you're going to give that like kind of frequency when you are at the gym. You're going to be in this like hunched down mode when you are at the gym, and people are going to actually kind of telepathically know that you are thinking in this way, because we humans, we have really great, like really, really great social understandings subconsciously, and people are not going to be as welcome to you when you are in this mode. So you need to work this around. You need to be this happy guy inside the gym, maybe take someone with you, constantly being in this good state all the time when you are inside the gym and you're trying to build a business, because this is going to ultimately give you way better advantages when you're starting out and creating this new identity, so that you can actually become better, have better status inside of society. And also, I forgot to kind of tell you, but having this elevated status inside of society will ultimately make you more healthy. You're going to have this way better feeling every single day. You're going to wake up with a big smile on your mouth, like I'm doing right now. Just I went to the gym, I spoke to like 10 different people, and everybody, I like had a big smile on my face. Everybody was smiling back to me. There was a bunch of people who I've never met before who used to went up to me and like talk to me. Oh, I think you're that guy. No, I'm not. And I like smiled and I laughed, and we brought up a conversation, and yeah, just creating a bunch of friendships like all the time will like give your status here. And you also need to notice things like body language. Body language is something that is really noticeable when you have a low, like your body language is the first thing that people are going to notice about you. Are you high status or are you not? Are you blinking, and are you talking a bunch faster when you are stressed? Do you frown? You frown when you're angry or upset. You slouch over when you think that you are not worth talking to and that you don't have any value. You do all of these things, and you need to start to talk slower at most times. Step number two, you need to win in the hierarchy. So step number two, you need to win in your micro hierarchy. Now, you might wonder, what the fuck does this mean? Well, you winning in your micro hierarchy is basically you actually being the leader, taking control of the situation in your social group, in your community, and all of these things. When you start doing this is basically the system to change your standing. Like if you want to change your standing, you need to win in your like micro hierarchy first. So you have to realize that you don't need to be a king, just respect the inside of your environment. This means hitting the gym, dressing well, being someone people can rely on. If you have your status in your social ecosystem, your nervous system will reward you for it. Yeah, so when you have status in your social ecosystem, your nervous system will reward you for it. This is super important. And I wrote this down actually, as you might understand, you know. So you need to stop seeing yourself as an outsider. You need to be this open-minded guy who can speak to everybody. Start embodying a role of a leader, even in small ways. And this is also why you need to know that status is so important, even in health. You know, you cannot just be sitting out inside. You cannot just sitting outside sunning your balls all day. You know that that isn't just the best thing. You need to actually elevate your status as a whole, because if you don't have this, you're chronically going to be stressed. Your nervous system is going to be out of whack, and you're not going to be having that good of a health anyways. You need to be speaking to people, you need to do all of these things. In order for you to win inside a micro hierarchy, is the first thing that you need to help people more regularly. And this might sound kind of simple, but it's really important. This will also give you people will start to be more dependent on you. They're feeling like, oh, this guy will give me stuff and they'll do all of these things for me. And then you're going to not from their selfish perspective, they're going to think that, oh, this guy is great. This guy is a good part of a group. He can actually do stuff for me. He's actually valuable. And when you start giving value, even inside of relationships, inside of this way, you will start to elevate your status. Simple. It's not only in business that you need to do this, but inside of friendships as well. Well, step number 2 is that you need to build your frame. Well, what the fuck is frame? Well, this is your body. How can you actually widen your frame? How can you improve your frame? Your frame is basically your actual muscles, you know, actually how wide you are, how big you are. This will give people more respect. They're going to treat you way better. This happened to me 2 or 3 years ago when I started going to the gym. I started focusing on an aesthetic physique, which is basically lats, delts, biceps, forearms, neck, and upper chest. This is the aesthetic muscles. And when you start focusing on these muscles when you're going to the gym, actually building your frame so that every side it pops out more, you're going to appear much bigger towards people and girls and guys, and you're going to naturally have better responses. They're going to see that you are physically bigger. They're going to start to trust you more. People are going to start to like you more. They're going to start to see that you're healthy. They're going to start saying, oh, so you're the gym guy, and all of these different things. And this is super important. If you build your frame, you're basically going to appear way more status-like, and you're also going to fit clothes way better, which is something that is really great. If you want to appear more status-like, you want to have clothes that fit you and fit you well. So these aesthetic muscles, I'm going to write it up here. Lats, delts, biceps. This is not just personal preference, by the way. This is actual scientifically proven to be the most important stuff for you to come across as better. Forearms, neck. I hope you can see the way I write. So lats, delts, biceps, forearms, neck, and upper chest. This is the most important muscles if you want to build your frame to look and appear big. So if you focus on these muscles specifically, you're going to see that people are going to start treating you way better. You're going to get better deals inside business, and you're going to have better health overall, because being high status might be actually, this is why I'm making this video, because being high status is ultimately one of the best ways for you to live long, to be healthy, and be all of these things. Because when people are treating you good, you are ultimately going to feel good. Your body is going to be good as well. And most people don't understand this. This is why you see all the important people in your school, or in your work, all of the people who have the most friends, who has the best social standing, that they look like the healthiest. You never almost see anybody who is unhealthy, looks really stressed, that he has a bunch of friends, that he has good standing inside the social hierarchy, that people actually rely on him, and all of these different things. You see that it's all it's all connected, everything. So yeah, this is basically how you can win inside a hierarchy, in a micro hierarchy. You help people, you build your frame. You also need to build your charisma. Your charisma is super important. Like, I was, not to be like kind of evil or anything, but I was the guy who like radiated a bunch of charisma previously, because I literally spoke to everybody inside the gym. Like, everybody was looking over at me. Everybody was like looking at me like who the fuck is this guy? Like, why is he talking so much? I give people honest compliments that is actually going to elevate them and make them feel good about their strength. And I give honest critique as well. I tell people when they ask me, oh, do you think this is great? No, I don't think it's great. You need to improve this, man. And then people are going to start trust me, but they know also that I'm an honest guy. Like, I tell people directly to their face. I tell people that you need to fix this, man. You cannot be fat anymore. You cannot have this like gyno. You need to fix it. Gyno was a really bad example, but you get the point. Also, I have a really great book for that, which is this book. I'm actually reading it right now. How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's I read it like 2 years ago, and I've read it like one more time since then. But yeah, How to Win Friends and Influence People. This is a really, really good book if you want to learn how to talk to people, which ways that you should actually critique people, which ways you should give them compliments, and so on, and like how you can navigate social situations inside work, inside school, everywhere. I'm actually going to keep this frame thing, because that's one of the most important stuff that has gained me the most value inside of my life, you know. So you need to build deep social bonds. So when we talk about deep social bonds, you know, I have so good relationships inside of my life, and this just makes me so like feel so great, because I can talk to my friends about literally everything. You cannot be shallow in this kind of relationships. You cannot be shallow in any type of relationships. You need to really go into depth. You need to start small first. You need to small talk a little bit. You know, I don't really need to tell you how to make conversations good. You need to understand that like people feel great when you have deep discussions, when you understand what they're saying, when you compliment them in honest way. And also people are going to feel the best about you when you give them like honest critique, like honest critique that makes them feel bad in the moment but actually good later on, because they realized like, oh shit, this like guy isn't like flabbing around. He's honest, like he knows what he wants. He has confidence because he can tell me what is wrong with me, what can I actually improve. And if people don't respond great to your criticism, generally, if some people, you meet one guy and he just goes fucking insane when you tell him the truth, like that is basically the culture inside of Sweden, that isn't a friend that you want to keep. You want to keep a friend who can take the truth even when it's hard and when he's been living this way for multiple years. You know, I was in a Discord call just a couple of weeks ago, and I met a guy, like I'm 17 years old, and we were like a bunch of people inside this call. We were talking self-improvement, you know, and there was this guy who came in. He's 26 years old, and he said like well and I noticed directly like this guy isn't confident. He feels irritated, or not irritated. He feels nervous when he is inside of this call, and I called out, you need to calm down. Number one, you need to stop saying like if you're going to start a YouTube channel, because that was the discussion that we were talking about. So he stopped immediately. Like he self-analyzed, and he was like, oh, thank you, man, I didn't notice, like thank you so much. And he actually sent me like a really, really personal thing to me later about his business that he needed help with, and I helped him. So that is really important. You need to build real things. I also need to realize that oxytocin is released through trust, through touch, through eye contact with people who matter. So if you have these things, if you have trust, touch, eye contact, and yeah, with people who really matter to you, you're going to release oxytocin, which is going to lower your nervous system. You're going to release less cortisol, and you're going to release more testosterone, which is going to make you more healthy. So this is really simple. And this is ultimately what's going to build real resilience when it comes to real stuff, and really build like this longevity and natural calm that you have. And one of the things that I'm most thankful of in my life is the personal friendships that I have. So all of my friends have super high standards for themselves also. One is really into the gym, another really takes his faith really seriously, another wants to become a billionaire, and another wants to succeed academically. But this is really true. You need to have people who have really high standards for themselves, because you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And this is so true. I wouldn't be the person I am today if I didn't have this one guy who wants to randomly become a billionaire because he said it, he saw like Andrew Tate 5 years ago, and I wouldn't be really into my faith as well if I didn't have this one friend who really, really takes his faith seriously. And with these friends, I can tell them everything, but the one thing that we are always like keeping in mind, that I am at least always keeping in mind, is that I'm always having a masculine tone. I'm always calling out these guys' bullshit, and I want the best for them, because they are my friends. Like I share so much with them. I've shared so many secrets. I've shared like so much things with these guys, and with this, you need to take like a responsibility over yourself and them as well, and they need to take responsibility over them and me as well. So always do what is best for each other and call out each other's bullshit. Now, thank you for watching, and goodbye. So hit me up if you want to have some free health coaching directly by me. You see, I'm trying to build up a kind of case study of people who have done great with my health coaching, and I'm doing this completely for free right now. So I'm doing free coaching, whatever you need to improve in your health, I can help you with that. And I'm just trying to build up some case studies right now. So yeah, click the link down below if you're interested in that. And yeah, I will see you inside a call.